All right, guys, happy November 17th, coming to you live, coming to you really, really full of excitement and coming to you full of gratitude. A couple of reasons and just personally. So if you're a parent out there, one struggle and one concern that you always have is that how are your kids doing interpersonally? Like, I don't know if that's something that you guys think about, but I always think about that. Like, how are my kids adapting interpersonally? I'm a very, very social person. I have really good communication skills, but at a young age, I didn't know how to do those things or the things that I do now. I didn't know how to get over social awkwardness. I wasn't aware of myself. And so we worry about our children, right? We worry that they're doing really good. And so two things happened yesterday. Michaela got an award at school for a 3.6 GPA. So she got a silver award, which we're super, super proud of. We're really, really strict on goals or grades in our class, or excuse me, in our household. Well, when they called her name, she can get an award. I wasn't able to be there, but Amanda was there. All these kids, girls and guys, they screamed for her and they yelled, and like Amanda cried. And it was like such a powerful moment to know that her baby, who was born at 1 pound, who was a miracle, that wasn't even supposed to make it in life, is now doing really well academically. Last year was a struggle, and that she has friends and people that are supporting her. So that's something that I'm really, really grateful for, that I wanted to share with you guys because it's really, really important. And then when we met with her teachers, self-advocacy is something that kept on coming up. And so that was something on her little chart. And so, I'm constantly pushing her to be herself, to ask for her. I don't allow Amanda to order for her at the restaurants, go to the store. We give her the debit card, you go pay, because I want her to truly speak up for herself. And so we are walking into an era of self-advocacy for my daughter. So want to share that with you. That is something I'm truly grateful for this morning. I got tons of other things that I'm grateful for, life, business, health, and so on and so forth. But that's something I wanted to share with you guys. So I'm going to go over to Greg. Greg, I don't think you've ever done this, big dog. I'm going to put you right on the spot for the moment. I'm going to have you bring the group out on the field on this beautiful, beautiful Friday morning. For the people that don't know, we have somebody lead the charge. Maybe that's the haka dance. Maybe that's a message, whatever it is. Greg, the mic is yours, bro. So go ahead, come in live and direct from Scottsdale, Arizona. Go ahead and hit us.
Oh, thank you so much. This is my first time doing this. I'm so grateful to be doing it. Coming off a call that I think we're going to talk about today, and the community that we have, that I've been introduced to this year, has been amazing. Like, nothing financially necessarily has changed, but how I operate, how our business runs, the time that we have back, it's all very calculated, and it's all just from being a part of a community, being in bigger rooms, being with people that know that have done what you're trying to do. Not recreating the wheel has been so big, and calls like this, where you can start your day, are huge, and I really appreciate them.
Beautiful. And I love it. You guys, listen, proximity, get yourself in the rooms, raise the hand, be a part of these conversations, join different groups, ask if you could take a seat at the table. And I promise you that proximity is really, really powerful, not only for the knowledge, but for the insight, but for the motivation, for the encouragement, and seeing what people are doing at a big scale. There's people that are my age and younger that are making billions of dollars. I'm like, that's the level that I want to be rocking at, right? And so get yourself in these rooms, ask questions, raise your hand, and get involved. And so really, really excited. Before we start the conversation, obviously, we're going to talk a little bit about action. We're obviously coming off the last week of business planning, and I've seen you guys at different business planning sessions. Some of you came to our business planning session, wherever it is, virtual, in person, no matter what. I want to get some language and some thoughts and see what's already in motion for you guys. But here's a message that I want to share with everybody, and I hope I do this message justice. I saw a video and somebody sent me the video, and I love when people send me videos because they said, hey man, this hit for me and hopefully it hits for you. And so my hope is to do this at least an ounce of justice. The message said, and the video was shared with me, and it stated this: there's somebody in your life right now that needs you to be a monster in 2024. And stay with me. There's somebody in your life that needs you to step up, to face every single fear, every single trepidation, every single action that you know that you need to take in 2024. Somebody needs you to be an absolute monster. And those people might be your children, to prove to them that mommy and daddy, anything is possible. Look at what we've done. It may be your consumers. It may be other agents in your environment. It may be people in your mastermind, but somebody in your world needs you to be a monster. And that person may not be you. That person may not be you, but it's all the other people that are looking at you being like, wow, look what Blessing did. Look what Brent did. Look what Ilona did. Look what Chris did. Look at all of the things that he was able to accomplish because he was a monster. The monster means that I'm going to make zero excuses. I'm going to go up there and tear some shit up in 2024. And that is the mentality that I want you to have. Who in your life needs you to be a monster? Who do you need to face in order for, what do you need to face? Excuse me, in order for you to give confidence to your children that, wow, like I have to accomplish all of my doubts, my insecurities, my vulnerabilities. I need to not live in mediocrity because people are watching me. People need me to be a monster in order to provide something better for them in their life. And I'm going to take that challenge on, and I'm going to be a monster for my family. My kids think I'm absolutely crazy, and they are right. They are right, because I know what I'm doing for myself is going to impact them later. Right? It starts with me, you guys. And so I want you to ask yourself, put a little post-it down, write in your journal, do whatever you need to do, but who? Who needs you to be a monster in 2024? And that's what I want to share with you guys. And that's how I want to open up today's session. Who? Who needs you to be a monster? My daughter. Michaela needs me to be a monster. Michaela needs me to show her that no matter what happens, no matter what challenges you've had, no matter where you came from, that you can be whatever you want to be in this life. Despite being born at 1 pound and being trached her entire life and not being able to speak until she was 5 years old and getting fed through a G tube and having 32 surgeries at Stanford, she needs someone to share with her that anything is possible. And if she is meek, and if she is quiet, and if she is reserved, and she is still finding herself, how can I be that monster to show her that, listen, you can be whatever you want. But if I live in fear, if I live in doubt, and if I'm not taking the steps to be the best self, and if I'm living in mediocrity, then what am I allowing them to face and be able to be okay with? Mediocrity. And in the Astuto family, we are not mediocre. And that's the message I want to share with you guys for the morning. Who in your life right now needs you to be a monster? And I literally saw that video and it like shook me up. It shook me up. So my hope is that just looking around the screen right now, that something is provoked in you.
Stop.
Some thought is provoked. Yo, go ahead. Hey, Kaleem, listen, man, I love you, brother, but I know you're disciplining your dogs. Please keep yourself on mute until you have something to contribute on the conversation. I love you though. I heard that message this morning and it was really, really powerful. There's somebody in your life that needs you to be a monster. So I'm going to open up the mic really quick. People are chiming in. I want to hear from you guys. When I say that to you, what comes to mind? What is sparked? Anything, please go. It's okay. Let's have this conversation, because then we're going to get right into action. Blessing, I knew your hand would go up. Nicole, love that your hand is up. Colleen, let's go ahead and put your emoji up. That way I can come to you, big dog. And I love you once again. Blessing, let's hear it from you. Let's go, Ashley. I love it. I love it. Keep your hands up because I don't want to miss you. Blessing, start us off.
That is, who needs you to be a monster is something that I have been hearing for the past few weeks, because we often get stuck in our own minds, like the fear of putting ourselves out there on social media, the fear of talking to people. That fear, it's not only blocking our blessing, but it is blocking someone else's. Someone needs you to share what you know because they've never heard it before. We live this life, we hear the message, we know what's going on in the market, but if we don't tell someone, that could be their only chance to hear what is possibly going to change their life. So to add on top of that, who needs you to be the example is such a powerful thing to remember. This is not just a business to make a ton of money. This is a business to serve. So who are you serving is something that you have to, that I love that message so much, and it couldn't be more timely, because you guys know it's my son. Like, he needs to know that you can change anything that you want. If you are quiet, you will get run over. You will get taken advantage of. There's no other way around it if you just do not speak up for yourself. So Thanks for the reminder.
You got it. And I appreciate your contributions always at a high level. And think about this. Now, obviously, a lot of you guys are thinking about this, and a lot of you are going down the path of like, how does this impact me personally? And I love that. But I also want you to think about this from a consumer, right? If you think about, I'll take this for context. Say my niche market or the people that I want to impact the most are first-time home buyers, underserved communities, whatever that is. Well, how do those people need me to be a monster for them, to educate them, to advocate for them, to allow them to know what is possible? How can I be a monster with content that teaches them, to empower them? Because once again, you guys remember this. Remember this. People borrow our confidence until it becomes theirs, right? So I'm thinking about this not only for my family, I'm thinking about you guys. I'm thinking about the organization. And I'm thinking if we can do that at a very high level, be monsters, then are we going to serve more people? Absolutely. And does that confidence that we've helped them gain for their family, what does that pass on to their children? That mommy and daddy at 33 years old were able to save an X amount of money, bought a home. And when you are 25 years old, that becomes yours. And mommy and daddy have built wealth. Like, think about the monster that you've created from a business sense as well. So blessing, I love it. Let's go to Nicole. Let's go to Ashley. Let's go to Kaleem. And then we'll just continue on. Anybody else that wants to get involved in the conversation, please raise your hand. Nicole, you are showing up as a monster already, but let's hear from you.
Thank you. I was going to say, for me, it, like, everybody knows my kids. Yeah. But like this week has been a very scary week for me. I did stem cell collection yesterday. And I realized I also need to be a monster for my parents. Don't cry. But also, like, by me sharing my journey and everything that I'm going through, I have had a lot of people reach out to me that have family members that are going through the same thing, or maybe going through, similar situations themselves. And they're like, watching you share your story and what's going on has, given me confidence and made me feel like, okay, if Nicole can do it, I can do it. Or, she's showing, okay, maybe that part's not that scary. I can go through with it, and things like that. So I've also found that to be empowering through the process, because people have shared that it's also helping them get through similar situations.
You guys, how powerful of a message is that? Nicole, she's not hiding this at all, but she's battling cancer right now. She's got 2 small boys and she's still showing up. Her camera's on. But like the fact that she has to dive even deeper, even when she probably doesn't feel like it, like that's powerful. That, to me, you being a monster empowers me to be a bigger monster. So thank you, Nicole, for always being so vulnerable, being here, sharing. Let's go, Ashley, and let's go, Katie. And then I'm going to shift gears in the conversation. But thank you guys for getting involved at an early stage in this conversation. Ashley, hit them.
Good morning. I feel like I am proof of concept with this. My mom, she built an empire when I was little. She was a #1 salesperson in the United States, had 10 managers underneath her, went to 19 countries for free. And then she met a con artist that took complete advantage of her and put her $1 million in debt, lost her house, lost everything, had to move in with my grandma. She went back to St. Mary's and I would help her study. And I just saw her go, okay, well, I'm not above this. I'm going to go back to school. She was studying. She became a paralegal. I had nights up just watching her work her butt off. 2 jobs. We were on food stamps. And then she ended up buying another house right before 2008, got taken advantage of with my stepdad, lost it again, claimed bankruptcy again, and then went back and built it all over again a 3rd time. And now she has her house. She's learned a lot of lessons. I, watching that, have learned tremendous lessons that no matter what life throws at you, you can get up, you can become a monster, you can overcome anything if you just have your mind right about it. So I'm proof of concept. People really are watching us, and they're watching how we handle these obstacles, and we have to keep showing up for them. God,
well, shout out to your mom. Shout out to your mom. I think that would be a really good podcast episode if you could possibly get her on a podcast episode to share it. It's not, because what we always see is like, where these people are, like where a Grant Cardone is, where Tony Robbins is. But like the better question to ask people like that is like, what did it take for you to be able to hit this level of success? And what challenges and what mistakes did you make along the way? Share all those with me. And I think that that's the gritty story. So I love this, Ashley. Let's go to Katie, and then we're going to shift gears. I got some thoughts for you guys that I want to share and bring you into to this thought track. But Katie, let's go rapid fire. Let's hear from you.
Sorry, I was just taking notes. Okay, so I went from basically being sick for several years, fighting, for my life, to a point that we didn't even think I was going to make it, losing my entire family, my brother, my mom, my dad, my stepdad within 4 years. Nothing could go right. My husband was always out of town working just to keep health benefits to keep me alive. And so right at the point where things started to come together, and that he is my why, and that's my why. And I don't need to go deeper because he is enough, But it started with, I wanted to show my kids that no matter what happens in this life, you can overcome. And now you're talking about podcasts, which is really, Ashley knows this too, that what God kind of put on me is that we're supposed to start talking about this, because we always see the product, we don't see the process, and people don't think it's tangible. They don't think it's real. They don't think they can make it. But by giving that little glimmer of hope, it's planting the right seeds. We give the water, he'll give the light, and it'll grow. So
God, I love it. I love it. And, my condolences to you, to your family, and, everything that you've been through. But look how strong you are. Look how you're showing up, and look at the monster that you are. I love this.
Wouldn't be me without it, So I
That's
understand.
Right.
He and I have had a lot of time to talk about it. It's all good. So
I love it. All right. Well, I appreciate you sharing. Thank you for letting us in. Colleen, let's go to you. And we're going to wrap on this conversation. We're going to get right into the next, part of this convo.
Good morning, everybody. First of all, I apologize. The dogs are a little annoying this morning, and I love the meetings in the morning. I need to be a monster to my inner child, because as we grow older, I felt I have developed fears, and sometime I have to go back and tell that child, okay, what I thought, am I accomplishing it? And at the same time, I want to be looking at myself, the man in the mirror, and I'm going like, okay, what have I promised last year? Have I done it or not? So that's what I have done is, when I brush my teeth in the morning, I have put things there, the 10 things I need to work on, and I kind of do affirmations for that. And I think that has truly, truly helped me. Thank you, guys.
Wow, I love it. Colleen, thank you for sharing that. And I read this, I don't know in what book, but it kind of took you back to like, your imagination. When you were a kid, like you were so free to imagine, to, like you could literally be in your imagination for hours. And right, my son is like in this dinosaur world, and like, Dad, to this morning, it's like, be an Raptor, now be a human, now be a dog, like his imagination. And then what happens is that we get older, and what happens is that somebody along the way tells us don't, or somebody tries to stand in the way of our thought. And then like we start to live in fear and all these things. So it's like, you guys give yourself some time to go back to like your imagination, call it your genius time, call it your free thinking time, and like get back to that, because that's when really good things can start to happen. What we do is we don't spend enough time in that genius zone, in that creative thinking zone, and we look at just the immediate. But yeah, you guys spend some time in your imagination. So I really, really like that sentiment. So you guys, I'm going to share some thoughts with you really quick. I have a couple people that are on a call with me yesterday, but I made some chicken scratches here that I'm going to share with you guys. And I thought that this message was important. So please bear with me. The chicken scratches are here. I'm actually going to probably just draw it. No, I'll leave it here. So we were on a call yesterday, and they were talking about Seth Campbell, and all glory to Seth Campbell. Make sure to give him a follow. This guy has just been, amazing and a genius at looking at patterns, at looking at trends in regards to the real estate market, and really being ahead of the curve. He was part of the beta test for OpenAI. And obviously we know how much of an impact AI has made on our business and on the world, and so on and so forth. And so what he realized through all of his reading through the years is that he read this book, and I can't remember the name of the book, and Brett and Greg, if you guys remember the book, but it was Millionaire Habits. And what I took from what he was saying from the Millionaire Habits is that a millionaire, all these people, billionaires, millionaires that have built all of this wealth in the United States of America and beyond, they all have the same exact identity. And the same exact identity is rooted in this. it's rooted in the reality habit. And what I loved about that is that no matter where they were, whether the economy was good, bad, market, whatever it was, they were okay with accepting the reality of where that market currently was and what they needed to do to prepare for the next cycle of the market. And so first off, it was just being realistic with where you're at, with where the market's at, and being okay with that, and not trying to shy away from where the market was. And then being able to look at the market in a very cyclical way, which we are in a cyclical market, and being able to determine where we are at and where we are going and what needs to happen. And so here's the example that he told us. So step one here, or phase one, is like the market's growing. Like, let's call number two here. This was like right after, pandemic, let's say late 2020, fools were printing money, right? It was just a crazy year. If you were a part of real estate at that time, you probably made a really big amount of money at that time. I know that I crushed it that year, 2021, once again. And then what happened right at that top of the market, right at 2, is you saw things start to change. And then what has happened since then with interest rates, with all the rumblings, with the litigation and things like that, we've seen a turn in our business. And I do not think that we have gotten to number 4 here. And this number 4 would be considered like the bottom of the market. That's when the most challenges happen. So what he had said on the call is that we're probably right in this 3 zone. What that means is that the market has seen a downturn. Obviously, in our markets, we've had a 30 to 40% year over year, sales and unit count. And so I was thinking about this and really listening to him. He said what a billionaire does and what a millionaire does is they get prepared for what the next stage is. Not doing all the work here in the 3, but what can I do to get ready to really shine in the market that is coming? And what I thought that was really profound is a couple things. When we think about where we're at right now, everyone is worried about more sales, but he made a very, very simple point. In 2024, unit count will probably still be year over year lower in most markets. What is happening with agent counts across the country right now, Ashley? Or is agent count going up, or is agent count gone down year over year?
Down by a lot.
Totally. And with recent litigation and changes in the real estate market, do you feel that more real estate professionals are going to leave the market?
Yeah, absolutely.
Correct.
By the day.
So, totally, every single day. So here's what he wanted us to all wrap our heads around. If people are leaving the market, and let's say there's 2 million realtors right now in the United States of America, and let's say that people start leaving at a rapid pace, and let's say in the next year, 2 years, that number gets down to 900, 600, 700,000 realtors in the United States of America. So what happens is that you'll have less sales, but you'll have less realtors. So what happens is that loss in inventory and that loss in unit count can be made up by the great professionals that are staying in this business. So what needs to happen right now? When you think about where we're at in the market that we're heading, your personalization of your messaging is going to matter more than it ever has. Somebody told me this before, that you can automate yourself right out of a relationship. You can automate yourself right out of a relationship. And talking about this, the time of turn and burn, and I wrote this down, and Seth, if you ever see this, man, thank you. And hopefully I'm doing this message any justice, but turn and burn won't work. Meaning that the leads that you would get, and you would just put them in your CRM and you would dump on them, and you really wouldn't have a follow-up and a cadence. You guys, that is not the market that we're going into. The market that we're going into is going to be a market of personalization. This is a time when you're updating all of your notes in your CRM, when you're looking at somebody's profile, right? If I was to look at Ashley, I know she swims. I know that she has kids. I know that she is all about Tony Robbins, her mindset. So when I'm following up with her, that messaging sounds a little bit different versus like, hey, Ashley, what's going on? Do you think it's still a good time for you to buy or sell? Well, let me know if I could ever do anything for you. Right? No, I want to be a little bit more personalized. So here's the thought. The thought is, if you guys are not right now learning the skills to master your CRM and to understand the cadence, the rhythm, the flow, and the personalization of your CRM, this market right here, this market is going to hurt you. So when you think about where we are, right in the 3 zone, how can I prepare for the market that's coming? How can I get better at my presentation skills? How can I get better at my organization? And how can I get better in the personalization of my follow-up? How can I get better at my personalization with my videos, with my content, with my one-to-one videos, with the shit that I'm posting? How can I become more interested than I've ever been in any other market? Because the next market is going to demand you guys all to communicate on a very personal level. And if you're not thinking that, and if you're just stacking leads, no, every single one of them is an individual DNA. Every single one of those has its own profile. So I am going to address my messaging and my follow-up and my reach out accordingly based on who they are as human beings. That's the market that we're going into. So think about the great millionaires, great billionaires. The great billionaires are always planning, preparing for the market that's coming. Look at your expenses. What can you cut right now that is not necessary, right? What are expenses that you can rid yourself of right now so you run very, very lean in 2024? Are there things that you don't need no longer on your plate? Are there skills, are there habits, are there activities that are going to put you in a better position to meet more people, but you're fucking dragging your feet and you're sleeping on all the activities that you need to do? Listen, whatever excuses you've had up to this point, that's on you and that's your prerogative and you have to live with that. I don't believe that you can walk into 2024 with excuses and make it and make it. I just don't believe that. And I love you. I love you. But if you're going to walk into the new year with similar excuses that you had this year for all the reasons why you can't do the things that you know that you need to do, it's going to be a rough road ahead. Rough road ahead. So that's my sentiment. That's my thoughts. And that's why this conversation about action, this where we're at, is super important. That's why the planning, the prepping, the preparing, the getting mathematical with your activities and your habits to amplify your skills, right? I know that if I do enough things in my community, enough things on social media, enough things within my sphere, and I focus on my relationships, then what's going to happen is I'm going to get a few deals from this bucket, few deals from this bucket, few deals from this bucket, because I've been mathematical with my approach in order to amplify the talents that I have to give to this world. That's my thoughts and that's my sentiment. So I want to go over to Brett Burns and I'm going to go over to Greg. Hopefully I did the message at least a fraction of justice, but Brett, I want to hear from you. He was on the call yesterday. Please share with me your thoughts, your takeaways. Let's turn the mic over to you and I'll come right over to you, Greg.
Right on. Can you hear me all right?
Loud and clear.
Cool. No, I thought what you had said was pretty spot on. I think the language that he used was really important, and it wasn't full preparation mode. It was act as if we're already there. Act as if we're already in the bottom of the market where you've cut all your costs. You've doubled down on the things that you can do in your control without having to go spend money. I highlighted extreme hustle, follow-up, and personalization. And that's exactly what you touched on. The one thing that I starred and that I'm going to implement from that call is pretend every person in your database is going to transact in the next 3 months. And if that was really the case, you wouldn't be sending out like recipe of the week. You would be reaching out to everybody. You would be actually talking to them. You would be touching on their socials and things like that, that is actually personal to them to show that you care about them as people, not just that you care about doing a transaction with them. So I think like that's where I'm at, is like the personalization of real estate is what is going to shine through this time that we're in, that I've never seen in 10 years in the business, but it's only going to make those connections stronger for the agents that actually care about their clients.
God, you guys stay with that for a moment. And I want you to think about this. Obviously, I told you about Michaela earlier and self-advocacy. Say I was a lead in your system. Say I was a lead in your system. Hey, Elias, I heard you talking about this self-advocacy on one of your videos or whatever. You posted something about it. You're so proud of your daughter. I read this article that was about kids and peers and how to become even more confident. Thought I'd shoot that over to you. I think that's a good read. Maybe you could share that with Michaela. If you ever need anything, let me know, but hope all is well. That is a personalized message. And I'm so glad that Brett said that. I think that this is an opportunity to go through our databases and look at our notes and be like, damn, do I know that they swim? They have kids? Do I have their links to their social? So when I'm actually going to do a call down and I'm looking at people that have recently viewed homes, can I really get personal with that message? Or does it sound the same versus everyone that I'm communicating with? Brett, that is such a great takeaway. Let's go over to Greg. Greg, I'm going to hear your thoughts, your sentiment, and your takeaways.
Yeah, I'm kind of right there with Brett. Like that was a big key that I took away. And that was the question everybody wanted to answer is like, okay, if we're shifting, if everything's crashing and burning and it's so scary and agent counts dropping, what do we do? It's super easy. You double down on skill set and follow up. That's it. And another thing that I thought was really interesting was when he said that follow up can trump skill set. Follow-up can trump skill set. So if follow-up can trump skill set, like what excuse do we have? What can you really say? I don't care if you're a month into the business, if you're 6 months into the business, especially if you're around organizations like this and coaches like this and leadership like this, there's no excuse you can make. So follow-up is going to be huge. And then we also, the second half of the call moved into like leveraging AI and how to implement AI. And I know we touched on, you can AI yourself right out of a relationship, right? So where's the balance? And the balance is in the re-engagement. It's in the follow-up. Like AI is not meant to replace you. It's not meant to make your job easier. And I don't think that we should look at it like that. It's just meant to create more opportunity.
Yes, I absolutely love it. And Ashley, I'll come over to you in just a moment, but I wrote that down as well. So your follow-up can trump skill, because we've all known that person. It has mad energy, that is just so skillful, can walk into a room and own it, right? Just walking in, we all know those people. But if you were to pull back the curtain from Oz and look at their systems and look at their follow-up and look at their processes, how many times a week are they following up with leads? Oftentimes you find gaps. And so I love that your follow-up can trump somebody's skill. You might not have all those skills yet, but you were masterful in the way that you follow up. You're masterful in your personalization. And I believe you 100%, Greg, that can trump that, the God-given talent. So good stuff. Let's go to Ashley, and then we'll shift gears in the conversation. Let's go, Ash.
I absolutely believe in this concept. When I was at the bank, for those of you that don't know, I was a bank manager for 10 years. And when I went in as a banker, I had knocked on doors selling security systems, and I was a makeup artist. I had no experience, but I had knocked on doors. I was a salesperson, so I knew sales. So I walked in, and to my right, somebody had been there for 25 years, to my left, 27 years. And I was just kind of listening and learning. But what I knew was follow-up and personalized notes. And I would write notes on every single person, like their daughter was getting married. They mentioned it to me in the conversation, what their dog's name was. And then when they would leave, I would write handwritten letters or thank you cards to them. Thank you so much for stopping by. I hope you had a great time at your daughter's wedding. But I would make sure to listen for something specific and important that they were telling me, and then include it in my follow-up every time. So fast forward 6 months later, the desks on the side of me who had been there for 25 years were empty. There was 3 people waiting in the lobby for me, reading newspapers. Oh, it's okay. This banker over here can help you. No, I'll wait for Ashley. They were just waiting for me. And I got promoted within a year. I got promoted again to branch manager within another year. And then I stayed there being a branch manager for just moving up in stores for the next 9. So I cannot express how important it is, personalized follow-up, because relationships are more important to people than anything.
God, so powerful, you guys. So I want you to unpack this conversation, and I want you to be real with yourself. I'm not going to call you out, but if you are going to do any type of coaching with me, obviously I can't deep dive in everybody's platform right now. I'm not able to do pipeline reviews with you guys on a group call. But in the coming year, that's going to be the one thing that I'm going to help you with. The one thing I'm going to help you with is getting super, super systematical with your follow-up boss, with your CRM, to be able to look at all these profiles, to be able to like, okay, where's your next deal coming from? All right, cool. Well, I don't know. Well, fuck, let's look at your CRM. I'll be able to tell you based on what is happening in your CRM, who's likely to transact based on behavior. And then we'll look at how well you're following up, what type of notes you have, how good you followed up, how personalized those messages are, or are you setting it up with some weak ass shit with your pumpkin spice latte that has no depth at all, right? No depth. So there's, the people on the call that are just relationship centered. That's where we need to be, you guys. And so, like Brett was saying, and I'm glad that you said that, it's not about preparing for the market ahead. Just act like you're there now. Just act like you're there now. Act like we're at the bottom of the market. That means that I have to refine my skills. I have to make sure that my CRM is set up and it's in place. And I need to make sure that I am focusing on personalization. And that leads me into my next topic. It's Thanksgiving. Whether or not you celebrate Thanksgiving, it is a month of thankfulness. It's a month for us to reflect and be grateful. Knowing that this is an opportunity for us to market at a very high level. I want to hear from 5 people. Throw your hands up. I want to know what you guys have launched or are going to launch from now until the end of the month to reach out to your database and your consumers, whether that's a newsletter you put out, whether that is giving out free pumpkins, I don't know, or excuse me, pies. I don't know what it is, but I'd love to hear from you guys, to hear what action you guys have already deployed or are going to deploy in the next couple of days. And here's a thought for you guys. If you're close to, I don't care if you're close to one of the booths, or Fast Booth Sacramento or Oakland, go in there and record, 50 personalized Thanksgiving messages. Hey, Kaleem. Hey, Gabby. Hey, Vernon. Hey, Sapal. Hey, Angeline. Hey, Greg. Hey, Joanne. Like literally go in there and just stack. And if you don't have the opportunity to go into the office, just sit there and just make a bunch of videos that you're going to send out from now until Thanksgiving. And imagine this, you wake up early Thanksgiving morning, 5 o'clock, everyone's still sleeping, and all you're doing is just send. So by the time the sun comes up, people are waking up like, damn, Vernon, oh man, that was so sweet of him. So I want to ask you guys once again, and I need you guys to get involved in this conversation, or else I'm just going to call on you. And if you have nothing, that shit's on you, not on me. What have you done for Thanksgiving, for Month of Gratitude, for Reach Out, or what are you going to do in the coming days? Who's going to raise their hand? And let's see that people that are taking action on this already. So I need 5 people. So I got Jessica. Who else is going to share with the group what they have going on? And listen, if you haven't spoken, I'm going to encourage you to speak. So Gabby, awesome, brand new, and she's already taken action. Where's my Vernons? Where's my people at? Where's Ramel? Where are the people that you guys? I know you guys have shit going on right now. So don't just smile at me, big dog. I love you, man. But let's hear it. What action are you guys putting in place to touch base with all of your people in your database? Let's go, Jessica.
Okay. Good morning, everyone. So what I did is I sent out a newsletter to everyone in my MailChimp, and I told them about the pie giveaway that me and Marcelina are going to host on Monday and Tuesday. Marcelina also went around the community and posted up flyers at small businesses. I also got on Facebook and I posted our flyer on different Richmond groups. I posted it on Nextdoor, on Facebook, Nextdoor. I don't know if I posted it on TikTok, but I've been posting everywhere. And yeah, we're hosting a pie giveaway on Monday and Tuesday, and we've already got a lot of people to sign up, which makes me really happy. We also went door knocking around our local community and passed out flyers.
How sweet, how generous, how giving. I love this. So how many pies do you think that you're going to give out?
We're hoping for 18. Right now, we're about 12. We're hoping we can get to 18 or 20. So we still need a market and keep posting. Yeah,
keep posting. I reposted it as well. But here's the thing. Like it just gives you a reason to market. It's something that's very nice and very generous. And people remember that. Even if they don't come and get the pie, they're going to remember that. And those 12 people, get a picture with them, have them post it on social, have them tag you, make that, like, give that even more shelf life for the next couple months going into Christmas. So our next couple of weeks. So really good job. I love it. Brett, let's hear from you.
I also want to say, sorry, one more thing. So on Facebook, I posted our flyer and this woman commented on the post and she was like, oh, what do we need to do for this free pie? And I told her that she didn't have to do anything. All she had to do was just sign up, that me and Marcelina just wanted to give away to our community. And she was actually surprised. She was like, wow, that's surprising. It's hard to believe that companies nowadays want to give things out and we don't have to do anything in return. So that was
all you have to do in return is just now you know me, right?
Yeah.
Now you know me. I'm not asking you for anything, but my thought is, how do I get into your world? Right? Mm-hmm. By giving you something, maybe the thought comes up down the road and you have questions. Oh, the pie girl. Yeah, let's call the pie girl. Right. So think about the mentality of a consumer. You are known as the person that threw that ice cream social. You're the one that gave out turkeys. Oh, that's that person. I want to go to that person because you're that man, woman of the community. So Jessica, I absolutely love this, and way to take action at very, very early stage in your career. Good stuff. Let's go to Brett. Let's go to Vernon. We'll go to Katie, and then we'll go to Gabby.
I loved what you put up and sent over on Men's Mental Health Month. I think it gets glossed over. And even when I see it, sometimes I'm like, man, I hope all my bros are doing okay. And so I'm going to combine that with a gratitude video text to 50 guys in my circle that I appreciate. And, you know, as soon as I start vibing out with stuff like that, I start attracting stuff like that too. So I've gotten a few of those. I've connected with some people that I really admire and what they're doing. And so putting that out there to just show that that I appreciate them. And then also just to be like, how are you doing, man? Like, I think about you all the time and I hope you're doing well. If there's anything I could do for you, I'm here for you always. So that's my message to them. And then that's personal. Social, video, and email to the database is just more sharing on what I'm thankful for, reminding people that, you know, it's Thanksgiving. We should be more focused on the things that we're thankful for rather than the problems that we have. I think a lot of times we get focused on what's not working and don't take enough time to sit there and go, oh, dude, I got a lot of good stuff going on right now. So just reminding people of that and getting out to everybody that I can get in touch with.
And I absolutely love this. You know, both parts of it. You know, I think that it is glossed over. We're supposed to be the warriors. We're supposed to be the strong ones. But hey, we're human. We go through shit, and so I appreciate that. My son yesterday, we're driving to school, and he's singing this song that I've never heard. It's a Thanksgiving song that they're preparing for. He's like, I'm thankful for the food in my belly and the shoes on my feet and the clothes on my back. And I was just like, what? Like, it was so cool, like hearing this song, like all the little things that he was grateful for. So I love that, Brett. Great time. What a great time of year just to be super, super human, you guys. So Vernon, let's go to you. Thank you for getting involved in the conversation. Then we'll go to, I don't know the order, but we'll get to everybody's hands. Let's go. What action?
To your sentiment, Coach, I'm really focused on the personal touch aspect, the human relationship as the cornerstone of the transaction. So obviously my newsletter stays pumping out to my database, but getting more personal with those one-to-one videos, tapping into the inboxes on the various social media platforms is super effective. I'm committed to knocking 50 doors a week for the rest of the year. And as a means of just getting in front of people and having a conversation, right? Not necessarily about real estate, but more so just about whatever. And I can direct the conversation into real estate. Every Thanksgiving in Vallejo, they have a big ass turkey bowl. Okay, big ass tackle football game. I mean, crowds, you know, people in the stands. I mean, it's a big deal. So I'm definitely getting down in the turkey bowl this year. And so with that, you know, I'm going to be strapped with my real estate marketing material, who I am, what I got going on, put some things in people's hands and really just leverage that. any personal interaction that I can leverage at any time, in any scenario, on any day of the week, I'm at that, right? So like I said, the one-to-one videos, the newsletters, the door knocking, the turkey bowl, that's my formula moving forward.
And but listen to this, you guys, and listen to the people that are talking ahead of you. Like, there's a plan, right? There's just a plan, right? And the plan is like, how can I go out there and have more conversations and meet more people? So Vernon, I don't know if you have a QR code that goes to like the link system that has all your profile and your social, that, you know, have that. So it's just like, yo, you know, hit that QR code. That way they're instantly in your world. But man, I love that. And let me ask you a question. What position you play in? Is it full tackle? You have helmets on and everything and gear?
Bro, no, bro. No. This is old school tackle football. The best you're going to do is put a mouthpiece in your mouth, a beanie on your head, and let's go. Okay.
Oh, bro, that's the kind of football I grew up playing, man.
That's the only type of football to play. What is this? This is Thanksgiving. It's the turkey.
Man,
we don't play.
I remember hitting somebody.
Shit. Flag is
I remember hitting somebody as a kid. We would always play street ball in the park, and I broke his collarbone. And I remember his arm was just down like this. But like, we would play for hours and hours and hours, man. So I love that. Appreciate everything that you're doing. Let's go over to Gabby. Then we'll go to Katie. Then we'll go to Otis. We'll go to Asia. So Gabby, talk to us about action. What's in place? What are you going to do from now until Thanksgiving?
Well, good morning. So I do insurance as well, you know, as my full-time job, both full-time job, but I want to get together with my agent to do a coat drive, because I know a lot of people right now, you know, they're kind of cleaning their closets, some sweaters don't fit or whatever. So I think that's a good thing to give out. You know, there's a lot of homeless on our community. There's a lot of places where you can just take this. So we actually do it every year, but this year I want a partnership with him and do door knocking and pass around flyers, you know, saying we have a coat drive. And yeah, that's one of my plans.
People in your world, right? Like, I want people in your social media. I want people following you. I want them in your world so they constantly can see, oh, the coat girl. Oh, she also sells real estate. She also is a community advocate. Like, bring them into your world as close as you can get. I had a question for Marcelina and for Jessica. I still don't know how to ride the ferry, but that's what I was thinking. So you guys did your blooper shit earlier. Yeah. I still don't know how to ride the ferry, but thank you for creating it. That was really fun. Marcelina, when she cussed, I don't think I heard Marcelina cuss before. I thought it was just funny. So, but good stuff, you guys. I was just thinking about that. Let's go to O-Dog, and then we'll go to Katie, and then we'll go to Aishaleen. Let's go, Otis.
All right, as far as connecting with clients, I'm going to be doing 30 days of real estate facts for the holidays. As you know, people usually do like some type of Christmas countdowns, days of Christmas. So mixing that with the TBA, the show that I'm doing, putting the first couple of episodes out there to get a lot of interaction. It's going to be a lot of downtime for people to be home traveling during the holidays. So I think it's going to be a good time to do a really good, strong content push. So that's what I'm going to be focused on. Throwing in some ugly sweaters and stuff like that, being funny with some funny shit. But I'm very big on doing stuff for the holidays. I always have, but the last few years we're going through a bunch of family stuff and passings and stuff. It kind of got away from me, but it's something I've really been doing for the last 10 years since my brother passed. Used to hand out turkeys, dress up like Santa Claus every year and go somewhere at Women's Shelter, Union Square, somewhere, give out stuff. So this year, I'm still trying to push that benefit concert with LaRussell, like we talked about, Elias, and maybe doing some type of fundraiser where it's like a bring a toy thing, and we do something like that, build up funds. So me and LaRussell could do something for Vallejo. And then on top of that, just really focusing on hunkering down, following up, because right now rates are dropping and people are starting to come out the woodworks online. So that means your average buyer and other people are going to start coming to open houses. So really just getting back to the basics and hitting from all angles. I've been saying I'm going to do it, but I haven't, but really just focusing on those things.
Man, I love this. I absolutely love, you know, like getting back into this. You guys, I would think about it this way too. Like, you have obviously Thanksgiving, which is right around the corner. You have tons and tons of reasons to reach out. what I would do is I would launch some type of 12 days of Christmas. Now we're going to do this as a company, but that's going to be 12 days of Christmas. Every single one of the 12 days is going to be an action item. Like on this day of Christmas, my true love sent out 17 text messages to my database. Like, so I'm going to make it like fun from like a sales standpoint. But think about this. If you guys did a 12 days of Christmas, all right, guys, it's day one of our 12 days of Christmas. And we are doing a raffle, or, tag somebody in this to win this. It's a latte. It's $10 gift card. It is a dinner at this place. What you do is go to your local restaurants and let them know who you are, that you're an influencer, that you have a database of X amount of people, that you're a part of a very large team. You're seeing if they wanted to contribute or offer some type of, dinner or appetizers or whatever. And you'll be surprised. You'll find local companies, local businesses that want to give you something to promote. And I did this through pandemic, and it worked like crazy. Or you say, okay, do I have a little bit of money that I could spend 12 days of Christmas to get people to tag on my social? And then what I'm going to do is I'm going to go live and I'm going to announce that the next morning. Hey guys, all right, let's go in. All right, the winner is Gabby. Gabby, you are the winner of the first day of Christmas, and you have won this. You guys tune in tomorrow. We're going to do day 2, and this is what that is. And you guys do that for 12 days. Get people involved. Tag somebody that tag a teacher, tag somebody that works, whatever. You'll find that you guys will get tons and tons of traction. So Otis, I love this idea, just getting back involved in this. There's just so many excuses right now. I'll come right back to you, Otis. And go ahead.
No, you're right. The reason why I mentioned the open house and stuff like that, because a lender that I closed with earlier in the year reached out to me and was like, he has a QR code. So if I do open house, anybody that comes in and clicks on the QR code instantly is raffled in for a 65-inch TV. So they're actually people, he's right. Actually, people are, coming up with creative ways to, get lead generation and flow like that. So shit, who ain't gonna want a free 65-inch just for attendance? So, it's way things to do, partnerships creatively. And, I'm heavy on partnerships. So that's why I'm going to go get some.
First day of Christmas could be a pie. What, you guys go spend $9.99 on a pie? Like, I don't know. Just think about this in a very easy way to implement. Let's go, Katie, rapid fire, and then we'll go Angelina, and we're going to wrap this conversation. I want to make sure to get you guys out of here on time.
Okay, so what we have going on is, first, of course, sending out all my clients or the people I've met along the way, happy Thanksgiving cards. For my closed clients, I've ordered them cookies with their home picture, with the actual picture of the home, because it's going to be their first Thanksgiving in their home. And then another dozen with their pictures of closing day. Hopefully they don't mind eating themselves. But for my neighbor and I were talking about at the ranch doing a pancake breakfast for the neighborhood with Santa. They also own a jumper company. So putting up the jumpers and kind of letting them just go to town.
God, I love this. I love this. Really great stuff. Great stuff. Great interaction. Angeline, let's go to you, and then we're going to wrap on the conversation.
Hey, so what I'm going to do is I'm trying to get my first week of the 3-day checklist out. So where I work is I do real estate part-time right now, but where I work is a pretty neat area. It's like a bioscience place. So I built a bunch of connections here. I've been here for 3 years. So I'm gonna put like a little package together with a Thanksgiving and or with a season's greeting card. I'm just gonna give it to them and put like a little Starbucks and see where it goes from there. And then also people in my church, I'm gonna buy them. Maybe I'm thinking about doing the pie, what Marcelina and Jessica are doing, but I think I'm gonna do or if I don't do that, I'm gonna put in a little bit of my culture, do like pani popo or something called cocoa rice,
Cool.
just so I can connect with people in my church. That's it.
I love it. Here's the thing, guys. You have a choice right now this time of year, and this is the choice that you have throughout the entire year. You have a choice to do something big in regards to reach out and marketing that leads to prospecting. So it's prospecting based and it's marketing enhanced. It's prospecting based and it's marketing enhanced. This is all a reason for you to go out there and market. So you're either going to do nothing, right? Thanksgiving is next Thursday. Or you're going to say, I could do one thing. I could go and send 50 videos to people in my database or from social media. I can do that. I'm going to be home for the next couple hours. Shit, I'll do that. I can do that from my car. Some of my best conversations are with my mom from the car. So make a choice, you guys. And my hope is that when you are making the choice, the initial conversation was, who do I need to be a monster for in my life? If I'm going to settle for mediocrity and make excuses for all the reasons why I didn't do it, who is that going to impact? Who is impacted negatively by the result of you not choosing to step up for your life and business? So who needs to be a monster? Who do you need to be a monster for in your life right now? And go be that monster. People need you. People need you. This business needs you. Your consumers need you. So go there and be heartfelt. Have some great personalization conversations in this next week and capitalize on this time of year. You either will or you won't. Whatever route that you go down, that's going to rest on your shoulders and it's going to rest on your conscious. And my hope and my intent is for all of you guys to feel very, very good about all of the communication that you have this time of year. So you guys, we're right at our time. I just want to thank everybody for all your contributions today. Thank you for your insight. Thank you for getting involved in the conversation. Huge shout out to Brett. Huge shout out to Greg for helping me with the conversation that we learned from Seth Campbell yesterday. And you guys definitely gave it great justice. So you guys have a wonderful, wonderful weekend. I'm going to be doing the run for the Feed the Hungry run in Thanksgiving morning in Sacramento. If anyone's down to join me, I'm going to go out there and do that early morning run just so I can get ready to eat a bunch of shit food that day. So have a wonderful, wonderful day. I love you guys. I appreciate you guys. And as always, keep it moving towards your dreams, goals, and vision. Peace.
Peace.